This episode of the Main Thing Podcast is brought to you by the Table Lounge. There's always a seat at the Table Lounge. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the first episode, homecoming edition of the Innovative Sports Produced Podcast, the Main Thing web series. Our first guest today, somebody who's near and dear to me, Terrion Arnold, Alabama defensive back.
How y'all doing, man? I'm great to be here. Feel good, bro.
So Alabama is what, 5.5, 6 hours from here?
Yeah.
So how was the ride down here? Everything was
Drive was smooth. Came down with my teammates, and you know what I mean?
Getting a chance to bring him to the city and stuff, where I'm from, and just show him around. Kind of feel great about it.
Okay. So this is a bye week for y'all, right?
Yeah, it's bye week. LSU next week.
Yeah, is it? So it was something planned on? It was FAMU homecoming, you wanted to come back? What's that all about?
Well, when we got our schedule, the schedule came out, obviously during the summertime. I looked at it, seen October 31st, Coach Saban's birthday.
I think his birthday, I think his birthday on Halloween.
So he always scheduled the bye week and center it around that.
Okay.
So for the last 2 years, I've been able to come down on FAMU homecoming. So when I seen that, I said, yeah,
I gotta go to Tally.
I got you. Man, so let's get right to it, man. So first thing I got for you, man, ever since I know you, and I know you back in since your junior year of high school, coaching you at John Paul, you always had a sense of self-confidence about you, a little swag about you, like you expected to be great. Just talk a little bit about where that came from, when that blossomed in you, when did that blossom in you, and kind of when did you know in your mind that, hey, I kind of got it in me, I got that dog in me, like I can go play big time college football?
I would say it started when I was young, obviously being around my granddad.
Okay.
My granddad, he worked on the roof, so he was a hard-working man. And he instilled that in me. Obviously, just being about your craft, being a black owner and owning his own business, it was hard. He faced trials and tribulations. And just being around that and coming from that, I would say that taught me a lot, and I saw a lot coming from that.
And when I was younger, they used to call me the working man. And my great-grandma, my granddad, they said one thing about it, man, you know, Terrion's gifted, but you're not going to outwork him. And it wasn't even about football. Right. It was just on the roof. It could be us who could count to 10 the fastest. I'm just that type of person. Like, man, hey, I want to win in everything I do. And that competitive edge, I feel like that's what set me apart. And I take everything kind of like a challenge. So I would say just getting that from him. And football-wise, it really clicked for me, I would say, about 9th grade when I was going to Florida High. Because growing up, I started playing football young, 5.5, in the league with the 8-year-olds. I never forget it, man. They had me out there, DN, dog, DN. They had me out there.
On the line?
On the line, number 32.
I was number 32. But I hated it. Like, I ain't like it. Like, growing up, I wasn't one of them kids that'll tell you, as soon as I grabbed the rock, I scored. Nah, I ain't have that story. My first jamboree came off the edge, man. Went to make a tackle. I made the tackle, but when I got up, I was like, oh, man, this don't feel right. And then it finally came true. Got the rock in my hands, man. They put me back there, number 32. I'm in the backfield. You know, we young, so this still the power out. It's a game of space now, but it wasn't like that back then. Man, they gave me the rock, man. I got hit so hard.
Darius, I was at the bottom of
you up to it.
Yeah, so I was at the bottom of the pile. I'm bent over like this. Everybody on top of me. I ran. I looked at my mom. I said, Mom, I don't want to do this.
Is that for you?
My granddad said, I told you not to put him in tackle football that young. He with these older kids. Like, why would you do that to him?
Right.
So it was just one of those things where it was like, I didn't think I was going to be a football player. And growing up, I was a basketball player.
That's what I was about to get to.
Yeah, like, you know, hooping. Come on, I was supposed to go to Alabama and play basketball.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was a rumor out there in the ether. Yeah. Everybody was talking about, you know, you might play both. Was there any truth to that?
Yeah, it was true. Like, went out there, tried it. It ain't work out just as far as like the schedule conflict and put my body through a lot. So like when I tried to get out of football practice, go to basketball, it didn't work out.
But I would say basketball ultimately is my first love. And I feel like I show flashes of that on the football field.
Yeah.
Like when you guard the receiver in the first 5 yards, you know, you playing basketball.
Right.
When the ball in the air, you got to high point the ball. And then after that, like when I catch a pick, I'm swinging with the ball. It's kind of like I got
The rock in my hand. So.
Right.
But back to what I was saying, 9th grade, when I was at Florida High, I was playing JV. I was at quarterback. And I could have played varsity, but my granddad was always one of those guys like, man, you don't want to peak too early.
Okay.
And he's even kept that with me even as far as in college. So like sophomore year, had growing pains, up and downs. Now junior year, I'm more consistent, and you could tell, like they say, you show flashes of you doing this, you doing that. And like my granddad said, you just continue to keep progressing. Like he always said, you don't want to be one of those people that peak in college, that peak in high school, peak in middle school. You want to peak, you want to peak at the right time, as they would say. So they would say like every year, like he said, you should look like you've gotten better. So 9th grade year playing quarterback, I really realized nobody could catch me.
Right.
I mean, I was out
quarterback,
there.
Man,
quarterback, man. Quarterback.
Running
the family, man. Come on. So I would say playing quarterback and just kind of like being one of those kids who's born with athletic ability, it allowed me to do a lot of things that people couldn't do.
Okay.
And then 10th grade year, that was supposed to be my breakout year at Florida High. I broke my ankle, and I would say that was a tough time for me. But that was the time that got me in the position where I am right now. So like 10th grade, I started to feel myself. I was really popping in basketball. I'm talking about, man, them stars started rolling in. You're hearing 4-star point guard this, man. You know, in Tallahassee, I got the city coming out to my games and stuff. I'm popping it. Like, hey, I'm young, I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself, man. I'm one of them people too. Like, I got a personality for the people. Like I would say.
That you do.
Yeah, like I would say I'm a crowd pleaser. Like when I'm out there and I'm putting on the show, like you gonna know, hey, T out there balling. I'm gonna make you feel it. Like I feel like when we in this business, it's an entertainment business, and ultimately I used to always be the kid that grew up saying, dang, this is what I wanna be, or this is what I wanna do. So I always realize, like when I see younger kids or I see somebody that could possibly be in the position that I am, I'm quick to tell them like, hey, you could do this.
Right.
Like I never think I'm better than anyone or overstep my boundaries, because at the end of the day, I'm playing football. Right. You ain't saving no life. Right. You ain't healing nobody. You ain't doing none of that.
It's a game at the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a game. Yeah. So I would say that 10th grade year, breaking my ankle, going through that adversity, when I broke my ankle, I was at a real low place in my life. And then, you know, obviously 11th grade, I met you.
Right.
Man, you'll never forget when I met you. You said, hey, if you continue to do this, Terrion, I'm telling you, your whole life gonna change. Right. And honestly, that interaction that we had, and you know, you coming in, us having our coaching battles, man, it was a great time, I would say. And that was kind of like the rise of that.
All right, man, yeah, definitely. That's one of the first things. I remember that conversation we had, and it was just like, T, like you, and this was like right after I got done playing, so I kind of knew, and I played with some guys, a few of them still in the league now, but I was like, hey, you got what it takes. You got all the tools if you just keep honing them in and working on them. I was like, one day I think you could be a first rounder.
Yeah, you did.
So it's just kind of cool to kind of see you transition and take that next step. So moving on to the next topic, talk about your decision to go to Alabama. What was it about Bama that stuck out to you? Did you always know, like, hey, if I get that A to offer me, I'm gonna commit? Or was it just like a last minute type thing, or when you got on campus, like how did that come about?
I would say my recruiting process was a little different. Like growing up, never was an Alabama fan, always a Florida State fan. Okay. Still a Florida State fan to this day, man. Really? And I hope they keep winning so we can play them. Like I'm one of them people. Okay. So with Alabama, the main thing that stuck out was Coach Saban. Coach Saban didn't try to sell me anything. And with that being said, he was genuine from the jump, and he was real. He said, man, you come here, this is where champions, as they would say, this is where legends are made, and you'll have an opportunity to play, but you got to go out there and earn it. Right. In the recruiting business, you have a lot of coaches that are just blowing smoke up your behind, or they would say just feeding you lies. And my granddad, he always kept me humble and never let me get or think I was bigger than what I was. He was like, man, T, they just talking you up so they can get you to the campus, and then when you get there, you'll see the real deal. Right, obviously, me and you had that conversation too. Like, T, when they coming, man, this ain't what you think it is. This ain't that. So I would say what really separated it was when I went down there. Like, when I went down there and I sat in his office and we talked, like it was just something about him where you could tell, like, it was just real. Right. And then everybody would say, man, you know, he the best to do it. Right. And like my granddad said, when you get to the NFL and you get drafted, they're gonna choose you. This is the one time in your life you get to choose them.
Right.
And you know we was at John Paul on a sorry team. So I wanted to go be a winner. Like, I wanted to go be a winner.
Yeah,
and I
you
felt
wanted
like,
it bad. You wanted it bad.
And I felt like, you know, how I am, the type of person I was, I used to get tired of losing.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like, man, I'm out here, Deanna told you to give me the ball 39 times. I got 40 tackles on the other end, 2 picks, a kick return call back. It ain't enough.
Right.
So I just felt like, with that being said, I need to go somewhere where I learn how to win and learn how to be disciplined. Because obviously, like, with him being said, Coach Saban, man, he's a perfectionist. And just even being around him now and cultivating that, like, you could tell, man, the guy takes pride in what he does. And the reason why he is the way he is because he's a perfectionist.
Right.
Like, he don't get bored with the little things and the details.
Right.
And when I decided to choose it, I felt like it was right. Like, when I put that hat on signing day, like, it wasn't last minute. I had told him before, like 2 weeks before, hey, I'm going to decide on ESPN. I'm going to decide and I'm coming.
Right.
But I had also told Georgia, I was like, hey, man, you know, I'm thinking about it, man. I might come. Okay. Then, you know, obviously I had Florida up there, but I wasn't going to Florida.
That's why I honestly thought
I know. And then they fired,
you
know, when they fired Coach English, it was one of them things where it was like, man, I ain't going there. And Florida kind of, like my granddad always said, when you're good, they'll make room for you. When I went to Florida, they had told me, hey, man, you need to think about when you're going to commit. Keep in mind, at this time, I'm a 4-star. I won a 5-star yet, none of that. I'm a 4-star. They said, you need to keep in mind when you're going to commit. My granddad said, well, why he need to commit so early? He said, man, I just want to tell you, it might not be any spots left when he decide to commit.
Right.
My granddad was like, man, okay. But Coach Saban said, are you coming? I said, Coach, man, you know, I'm thinking about coming. He said, well, just let me know if you decide that you don't want to come so we can get somewhere else. But if you decide that you want to come, we'll wait it out. We want you. And I mean, you know, at that time they had just won a national championship.
Right.
The national championship team telling me this.
Right.
Y'all 4-6 telling me that. Like, how it sounds. So, with that being said, like, it was just one of them things. Like, I kind of knew and I felt in my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about John Paul. And, you know, that's kind of how we met and got our relationship. I was your offensive coordinator your junior year. And, yeah, it was tough sledding, you know, first year trying to bring a program back at a very small school. But we had 22 players.
22 players. We didn't even have enough to scrimmage.
Yeah, everybody went both ways.
Everybody.
But we went 5. We went 5-5 that year.
5-5.
Yeah, we had some good times, but it was a lot of trials and tribulations, and they actually now kind of doing well for themselves. So that's good to see.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit. So John Paul, real small school in high school. Even for high school, it's a small school. Probably in the entire school is what, 100 kids?
Might be 100 kids.
So talk to me about the transition from going to playing in a small high school atmosphere to now the biggest SEC stage and probably the biggest stage in college football, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
As far as being on the field and making the same plays, wasn't no transition because I'm a gamer. Like, I feel like I'm a playmaker. I'm going to go out there and make plays regardless. If you watching or I'm performing in 100,000. Like, I feel like that's what I was blessed, and that's one of those things I was born to do.
Right.
Everything else, though, I mean, it was tough. Like I say, it was tough. As far as even playing in the stadium, remember, like, you know, we used to make that joke when you come to John Paul, it's standing room only.
Right.
They'd say, man, y'all games be rocking like that? Nah, we ain't had no bleachers. Like, I mean, it was standing room only. But when I first came out that tunnel and we played Miami and in Atlanta, where the SEC championship located at, we played them for the Chick-fil-A kickoff or classic, whatever you want to call it. When I ran out there, man, I was in shock. Like, my body was shaking, my body was trembling, because it's like, dang, all these people here. And then you think about the millions watching on TV.
Right.
So it's like, wow, like, you really on a different stage. And I say even now, like, what kind of put it in perspective was, you know, when we played at John Paul, we had games that came down to the last minute, last drive, but it still just felt normal. When we played A&M last year, you know, it came down to the last play. The last play, they tried me, broke it up. You know, we won the game. But that feeling right there kind of welcomed me into college football. Like, I feel like that was one of those moments where it's like, dang, man, like, I'm at Alabama.
Right.
Like, the stadium was rocking, and you could feel it in your body. Like, my body caused me to do some things that I thought wasn't normal.
Right.
Like, normally I get the backing in the end zone. It's kind of like when they say, when you talking and you wrote out a speech, they say make it longer, because when you get up there, you're going to talk faster.
Right.
When I was in the game, you feel me? The adrenaline. I done practiced step, kicking to him, but out there I'm step, boom.
Right.
I'm moving. I'm like, Coach, man, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, hey, man, just calm down. Calm down.
Behind you.
And that's something that I realized too. Like, experience, you can't teach it.
Right.
So coming from John Paul, and not being in that like a dominant program in high school, I would kind of say it put me behind the curve, put me behind the 8 ball. But when I got there with my work ethic and stuff, and even like us having those conversations, just thinking about that, I was so focused on proving them people wrong that said, you know, I wouldn't be able to play there.
Right.
So I would feel like that kind of correlated that, and that's what made my experience, I would say, a blessing, to be honest.
So, and when you talking about proving people wrong, because it's a fine line when you get into that.
Yeah.
Because my thing was, I like to keep receipts. So I hear what you said, I'm going to write it down,
Yeah.
and I'm going to keep it in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Because we're going to address it at a later point in time.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage you to be more hungry to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
Than more about proving people wrong.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people always going to have an opinion.
Most definitely.
But like Jalen Hurts say, opinions don't make bank deposit.
Right. They don't make bank deposit at all.
Just, keep doing your craft, working your craft, and chasing what you want to do, because you're on the right path. So let's get to the next question.
Yeah.
So after we talk about that transition from John Paul to the big stage at Alabama, seemed like today in college football, y'all are held to the standard of a pro. I mean, you get praised like pros, especially with all this money flying around, NIL. But especially being at the school you at, you know, everything's broadcasted on national television.
Yeah, you
so
right
they
about
praise you
that.
when you up. Everybody love you when you up. But when you down, they love to throw dirt on your name, love to come at you on social media. So talk to me a little bit about that, how you deal with that process. Are you one of those guys that kind of turn your social media off during the week? Are you one of them guys that you kind of like a Kevin Durant, like you invite fans to come at you on Twitter, Instagram, or what's the deal with that? How you navigate that and keep a level head when you up, when you down, just dealing with the rigors of the fan base?
I would say, and I'm a believer in Christ. I would say, I think it's the Bible verse like Galatians 1:10, and like it just basically to summarize it, talk about like, am I doing it for the approval of human beings, or am I doing it for the approval of Christ? Because if I'm doing it for the approval of them, then I'm not being a servant of Him.
Right.
And you know, my teammate Caleb Downs, he shared that with me, and that's one of the things I kind of live by, because I feel like everything that we do is performance based and is measured based off of that.
Correct.
If I go out there and have a bad game, I could mess up next week because I'm still thinking about how I performed last week and how everybody treated me.
Right.
Like, perfect example, when we lost to Texas, I normally go to Waffle House after the game and I get a meal.
Yeah.
Hey, it's on the house, boss. Man, you know, you Terrion. Bet. Hey, we good. We lost to Texas. I go there. Hey, that'll be $21. I say, hey, normally on the house.
Right.
I say, yeah, that's when y'all win. I was like, oh, okay. So everything at Alabama, you know, and football run that town.
Right.
Like, those fans are diehard football fans, and I love them for that. I feel like we got the best fans in the country. Roll Tide. But it just kind of, I'm one of those people, even as far as social media and stuff, I don't look at it. Like, I used to be one of those people who felt like, okay, freshman year or like sophomore year, I'm playing real well. Let me go see what they're saying about me on Twitter. Let me go send it in the group chat to my homeboys. Hey, boy, they say I might be such and such in the draft. They say, man, hey, it look like I'm going first round. But now I'm one of those people that just feel like I'm trying to be more positive to the youth and really just encouraging others to get in this type of position, because you know how Tallahassee is, and this city is wicked. It's a lot of man. Like, I ain't scared of the old heads. I'm scared of the young heads. Like, man, it's the people that I grew up with. Like, it kind of like break my heart when I go to the news or I get sent something like, dang, man, you know, such and such locked up or such and such dead.
Right.
And it's crazy because with the platform that I have, I realize now, like, you have a voice, and people like that, like, it move you. For example, I was in the mall today. I'm in the mall. Kid mom came up to me. He said, my son's scared to ask you for a picture, but I just want to ask you, could you take a picture with him? Man, come on, man. Grab the little kid, talk to him, ask him about his game and stuff. He got a game tomorrow. I'm going to go see him play.
Right.
So I just feel like it's those little things that really can move people. And you never know, like, they can change people's life.
Right.
Like, who would ever thought me seeing you, I'm leaving my old school to come to a new transition, and that conversation that we used to have as far as taking the game more serious, because obviously you seen I was loafing at practice.
Right.
I wasn't being productive, and I was being a product of my environment.
I was on you.
And I was young, and you know I used to hate you for that. I used to be like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about, coach. Like, hey, like, no, man, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they would have talked to me some days after practice.
Yeah,
I ain't kidding.
and like those one-on-ones conversations, like those really, really changed everything. And I would say, to piggyback off of what you said, like, you can't feed in the way everybody else is saying. Because obviously, like, when you doing something right or you on the way to success, they gonna have something to say. Like, you gotta embrace that. Like, they gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
So, like, my mom, she one of them people too. Whenever somebody say something negative about her son, gotta make a burner account, gotta clap back, man. Like, I just be like, Mom, it's all right.
Okay.
Like, it's all right.
You good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would say, as far as like social media and stuff, I'm on my Instagram and stuff, TikTok, stuff like that. But as far as Twitter, I don't even have the app. Cause I mean, you know, just from being younger, I don't even put that temptation in my life. Right. And I would say, like, you know, to piggyback off of that too, it's kind of like a woman. You know, we being males, you see a beautiful woman, and you gonna tell yourself, man, you know, she alright, man. Like she got a man. Like, let's say she got a man. Perfect example. Let's say she got a man. You know you ain't supposed to talk to her. Right. But why you going to hang out with her knowing she got a man? Right. You teasing yourself. That's why I don't even got Twitter. Like, why would I tease myself after I have a good game? You go see what they saying about me real quick. It ain't gonna hurt me. So I mean, like, you don't even want to see what they saying about you when it's good, when it's bad. And like my granddad always said, just be even killed. He used to call it Joe Johnson. Played in the NBA, you can never tell if he was up by 40 or losing by 40. Right.
Not too high, not too low.
Not too high, not too low. And I feel like that's the best way to be in this game and even in life. Because obviously you're gonna have things that test your character, like how we had Texas test our character. How you gonna bounce back to that?
And that's the next thing I was gonna ask you about. Talk me through, you know, the Texas loss and just kind of the backlash from the Alabama community and just kind of what did that feel like? Was there any self-doubt coming from that loss? Was there doubt within the team, or did y'all kind of bond together after that point and say, okay, they hit us in the mouth. We might not be who we thought we were yet. Yeah. But we know what we got to do to get there. Yeah. And I'm starting to see y'all back on track, chasing another SEC title, getting right back in the mix. Later on down the year, getting back in that playoff. So just talk to me through that. What did you learn from that loss, and how do you feel y'all grew as a team from that experience?
I would say that Texas loss, that changed the whole trajectory of the season. Like, it was one of the best things that could have happened for us. Like, it showed us, as far as what we say, I mean, you know, me and the quarterback, Jay Mill, we preach it like, let a naysayer know, but we all we got, we all we need. Right. Because, I mean, before the game, obviously, you see Alabama going to be this, Alabama going to be that, best defense. They got Jalen Milroe at quarterback, high-power offense. And the Texas game, Texas was a real good team. Right. But ultimately, I feel like when we go out there and play, in order for us to lose, we have to beat ourselves. Like, we made a lot of mental errors Texas game, and they capitalized off of it. Right. And if you even think about it, we were up in the fourth quarter.
Right, in the fourth quarter.
And we still didn't come out victorious. So it was one of those things, like Coach Saban said, you got to play for 60 minutes. And we pride ourselves on the fourth quarter. And we didn't execute. So with that being said, it was something that really, really got us back, got us hound in, and we really started trusting each other. Like, in that Texas game, it was a lot of things where we didn't trust each other. Like, it was receivers running different routes, offensive linemen not passing on pass protections. On the back end, hey, I would hold my guy not thinking that Caleb gonna be in the middle of the field safety. So just those things as far as learning how to play as a team. And then you seen the next week, we in a dog fight with USF. Right. And you know, I mean, I feel like
yeah, because I think we spoke on the phone. You called me, what was that, Tuesday?
That Tuesday. Monday? And I told you, and I literally told you on the phone, I said, hey man, you know, they talking about putting your boy back there, kickoff return. Right. They put me back there. I'm taking it to the crib. They put me back that first time I touched the rock, crib. They called it back. So I mean,
I literally lost my voice. I'm at home watching the game, and I wasn't even thinking like, okay, they about to kick the ball off. Like, oh, Terrion finna be back there, and I see you catch it. And the first thing I was like, crib,
like,
and I see you hit the crib.
Come on, I've been doing that since high school.
Bro, I lost my voice. My brother called me like 5 minutes later. He's like, "You good? You sick?" I was like, "No, I just lost my voice screaming at the TV watching Terrion play." Yeah. And that was just kind of dope for me to see that live in real time. Like, just especially after we had that conversation, he was like, "No, like, we about to get back to it." Yeah. He was like, "I'm focused." Like, that loss motivated me. Yeah. And then so it was just kind of, because then you was also clamping too.
Man, come on, man.
On the defensive end, they was trying you every time.
I think they targeted me 7 times. Yeah, no catches. Like, I don't even play like that.
I was like, really?
And I feel like that game was personal too, because you know, USF, they had played FAMU the week before that. Yeah. So ultimately, like, I got friends at FAMU and stuff, and I mean, they don't have to say it, but I got people who watch the game at FAM. Obviously, when you look at it, you kind of like, hey man, you know, Terrion I'm ready to play USF. Let me see how he play versus them versus how I played against them. If I was going out there versus USF and got killed, man, you know I came back to the city. I don't even know why he at Bama, man.
Right.
Hey, come on, that's going through my mind too.
You don't even want to put that on film.
I don't even want to put that on the tape. Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I told you about that USF game, and between that with that Texas game, that's what's leading and causing us to peak at the right time.
Right. Okay.
Like we really trusting the process, and you can tell we hounding in, just taking the little things more seriously. Like that's all it is. As far as something as simple as going out there, making sure you got your thigh pads in, your knee pads in, or even going to class.
Right.
Like Coach Saban, one of the craziest things, and I say one of the most powerful things that he did is when he told us my freshman year, he said, how can I expect you to go out there and make a big play in front of 100,000 people with the game on the line if you can't even go and turn in your assignment on time?
Right. It's trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
Like all that go hand in hand. And like he said, it don't matter if I trust you. And it's like what you said, you got to go out there and trust yourself.
Right.
Like when you at corner and you out there on that island, you know it's you,
talk about it.
God,
talk about it.
in the end zone.
Talk about
like,
it.
man, you got to really have that self-confidence as far as like, dang, he just caught a curl. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. They're going to run it again. Because obviously football, it's redundant. And obviously there's only so many ways somebody can beat you. There's only so many ways you can scheme on defense to avoid somebody from beating you. Right. And everything repeats itself. And like Ray Lewis said, film study is a big part of it. And I feel like that's something this year that's taking my game to the next level.
Exactly. It's important that you touched on that because when I was in college, I feel like that's when I took the jump, became an all-conference defensive back, became an all-conference returner. When I took practice more seriously, and when I took film more seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, why are we running this coverage? Why should I be more patient in this coverage because we bringing a blitz?
Yeah.
Why am I doing what I'm doing? It allow you to play faster.
Yeah.
It allow you to pick up on things. So it's important that you learning that while you in college. I didn't really pick up on that until my senior year. Before then, I was just out there. Like, you feel me? But like my junior, senior year, that's when I feel like, okay, this is how you watch film.
Yeah.
I had to sit down with my coach, like, how do you watch film?
I had to do that too. Like, how do you learn how to watch film?
What should I be looking at?
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's very important. So I'm glad you touched on that.
And I feel like that's a game changer. Like obviously, when you go into the game, your athletic ability, it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. But if you could line up and say, okay, inside split. I mean, 60% of his routes when he got the inside split, he running the outside release. Right. I mean, he's coming inside. And then the biggest thing at college, the motions.
Yeah.
Everybody wonder like, man, why they moving the tight end like this? Or why they doing this? They trying to do that. It's eye candy.
Because your assignment's going to change. You got to adjust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, like in college at DB, they're notorious for this right here. Somebody that have a tight split, but they have a running back or a tight end a line outside. And they'll bring them in on the motion to disguise a short split because they get ready to run an over route, spear route, wave route, or a return. And those like the little things that you pick up on.
Right.
And I would say, like, when I started doing that, and really just starting to look at these receivers' release patterns, that's why I win a lot. Like I always say, if I win a release, the route dead.
That's how I used to feel.
We
gonna settle this at the line.
At the line.
That's why I used to love the press.
I'm telling you.
We just gonna go ahead and settle this at the line. If I like me. I'm gonna win on the line. If I can win on the line, I can cover the route.
Yeah.
Now sometimes you might get caught.
Yeah.
Head up.
Yeah.
But you know, as a DB, you can't panic.
Nah, you're right.
Trust your speed. Trust your technique.
Yeah.
Get back in phase.
And I would say that Texas A&M game, like that was something big for me because obviously I've been taking all these reps at corner. Our star Malachi Moore, he go down.
Right.
Terrion got to go in at star. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dang. But I done had these reps. And it's leading me and allowing me, like Coach Saban always say, creating value for yourself. Right. I get in the game. Man, this dude, Anais, he was talking on the internet saying he know what Coach Saban want. Yeah. I'm like, it was my time to do media. I guess they know I'm the type of person, like I got that Deion approach. I feel like when you play at corner, man, you got to back it up. Right. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk it. Right. Like, I'm going to talk it. I'm going to put the pressure on myself to force me to go out there and play good and have to back it up. Right. And obviously, like I said, I'm a crowd pleaser. Like, that's what get people going. Okay. Like, man, you got to be like LeBron. Michael Jordan said he done missed 26 shots. You got to be willing to live with that. Right. And like I always say, like my defensive coach, he preached to me, T, if you going to lose to your technique. Right. Most people, when they lose the rep, they doing something they ain't never did before. Right. Never did. Come on, never did before, man. It's kind of like, man, you remember senior year in basketball, we made that run. We get all the way to Jacksonville County. I mean, not Jacksonville County. We get all the way to Jacksonville. So we in Jacksonville, man, Duval County, man, and we playing. I'm balling, man. This senior year, man, game on the line. We playing a good team. We come out there. My homeboy, Muhammad. Yeah. You know, me and Maj out there. Samaj James, man, shout out to my boy Maj, man. He and Juco doing his thing, man. Maj, we the same height. He's 6'2". But he at center. He at center. Man, playing the 5. So that just go to show you, like, you know, at John Park, we didn't really have nothing, but we made something out of nothing. Right, like, you would call it like Iron Man, playing both ways and all that. And, man, you know, we balling. And, like, this topic is I'm going to draw it in. So, we playing or whatever. My boy Mo, he checking the game, man. Mo is a certified slasher. Like, when he catch the ball, he going to the rack. Man, go get fouled. Maybe an and one, shoot the freebie, call it a day. Apparently, man, we get in this game, I don't know what got into him. I'm passing him the rock. He shoot a 3.
Yeah.
Normally, you know, he open, so it's a high percentage shot. So I'm like, okay, man, he might make it. Top of the board, man. I'm like, I'm looking at him like, Mo, all right, I feel that. You supposed to take that shot. Like, just chill. Yeah. So the next one, man, we come down. Maj passing the ball. I'm the point guard, so I'm running the offense. He don't give me the rock. He caught 1-4 low, get to the top of the key. He spread it out. he got a white boy on him, so he thinking like, hey man, this a mismatch. Like, man, cause the white boy kind of slow. He like, I could blow by him. I'm like, okay, man, perfect play, man. You know, that's a smart decision. Yeah. Blow by him, man. Let's make this play. He shoot a step back 3. Right. Coach called timeout. Mo, what you doing, dog? Like, you don't normally do this. What's going on? Right. Man, coach, my bad. I was feeling it. I come to him, me being the leader I am, I'm like, hey, Mo, I get you kind of feeling it, man. Let's stay in the tempo of the game, man. Let's run it. I'm a drive, I'm a kick, get you something going to you so we can get you going. Right. Man, we come back down, D, come off the screen, we run a play. I run a play to get him going. So he come off the back screen, they set it, he pop out, post a pump fake, drive right. If it's right there, defender commit to, baseline, kick it, kick it to the center, a little dump down pass. He got the easy dunk. Yeah. Maj can dunk. Maj got the easy dunk. Yeah. If not, man, you just blow by the layup. Run the play, perfect execution. He get the rock, drive, step back, another 3. Wow. And I'm like, what you doing? Right. But then,
when did you ever do this in practice?
Never. When have you ever done this in the game? Right. But looking back at it, I'm one of those people I never forget. Like, that was a life lesson for me in a growing moment, because I realized, because that game eat me alive to this day, because I feel like we should have beat that team. I obviously went to state. And I realized those 3 critical plays, we never recovered from that. Right. Same thing with playing corner. Right. Just remember, you could have 4 plays, maybe 1 play, and in a game that's going to determine the outcome of the game. And that Texas A&M game, got a chop ball from Anais, I was beat. Right. I'm talking about beat, because I trust my speed a lot, man. I'm one of them people, like, I'm talking to him before the play, we line it up, I'm like, you know what coach want, huh? We gonna find out what he want, boy. Right. Like, hey, we out there, we talking. Hey, he come up to me, I'm thinking like, hey, what? Hey, he come up to me, try to block, he smiling, man. I let you know off the rip, man. I ain't your friend. I ain't going He come out, jaw, come on, bro. What you on, bro? Like, holding him like that, what you on? Yeah. He looking at me, he like, yeah. I'm like, all right then, so I'm just trying to see if you one of them one. Basically, like they would say, I'm basically checking, I'm checking your card. Right, seeing, like, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I'm trying to see.
He don't care if it's a run play. He gonna give you a little something.
Yeah.
Trying to see what you
and he feel he coming out the line doing all this swiveling and just trying to catch me. Yeah. Like, nah, bro, I ain't going. So then, he run the chop ball. I mean, it's critical in the game. When he run the chop ball, I kid you not, Darius. They on a run or whatever. Yeah. We had got a penalty, so they advanced, and man, momentum changing. We on the road. Last time we played at A&M my freshman year, we lost. So this game personal. I'm like, dang. Because when I watched him play my freshman year, I think he was like a junior. Man, he went fed. Right. To my fed, boy. So keep in mind, in my head, I'm like, boy, Malachi, I can talk all this to the media, but you got to guard him. Right. Hey, boy, hold it down. Hold it down. Hold it down.
You better back it up.
Man, what? So then I'm like, and it's crazy how God worked, man. Like, he put you in these different predicaments, in these certain situations, and as they would say, to get your blessing. Right. Like, I pray before the game, man, Lord, give me protection, give me strength, and then I say Matthew 23:12. I would say, as I'm coming to you, he who humbles himself should be exalted, and he who exalts himself shall be humble. Right. I say, I'm coming to you humbly. I ask that you exalt me, Lord.
That's good.
Whether that be good or bad. I mean, I could be saying, I ask for you to exalt me, but I go out there first play and get bombed. I'm exalted. Bad. But, I mean, I be hoping it's on the positive side, so I ask for that. I obviously ask for guidance and strength. And then just like an even, calm, still mind. Not getting too high, not getting too low. So on that chop ball, I would say, when I made that play, it changed everything, because I was beat, I didn't panic, and then like I trusted myself.
Right.
And I would say that was something big in my college career, because obviously I'm at corner, I feel comfortable and stuff, but when you get in that slot, it's a whole different game.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
People
whole different
moving
game.
different,
Man,
it's different sets.
A guy running at you full speed, you 7 yards off.
Right.
When I'm at corner, you feel me? You can have all the speed you want. I'm putting these paws on you, boy. Hey, like we slap boxing, like, growing up, fighting and stuff. Like it's just on the line, it's fighting, hand-to-hand combat. So I would say like those small little things have really led to that. And like that's the thing I tell my brother, like how you even said taking practice seriously.
Right.
It's a lot of people before they pros, they know they pros even before that. Like you know with me, 11th grade, we got school lunch, pizza, so I'm bringing my own lunch. Handmade sandwiches. Man, I'm in the morning eating oatmeal, drinking protein shakes, because I know I got to get ready.
Right.
And sacrificing, going out. Like you know me, I was going to practice, and you know we didn't really have those reps or those game reps I couldn't get in practice. So after practice, I'm going to work out with Travis.
Right.
And I would say all those things lead to even how I am now.
Right.
And those, it's what separate those people who, as they would say, dang, see, I wish I was doing what you're doing. I wish I had what you had. No, you don't. As they would say, most people would look at you. I read in the book, The Psychology of Money. He said, most people say they wish they had $1 million. No, they don't. Most people say they wish they had $1 million, but in fact, they really just wish they had $1 million to spend. Right. Like you don't wish you had $1 million. You wish you had $1 million to spend. Right. So like in football, yeah, you wish you had what I had, but you don't really wish you had what I had.
Got you.
As they would say, you don't really want to step in these shoes and feel this pressure of having to go out here and execute, perform, day in, day out, sacrificing, not going out, sacrificing, not being with your people for their birthday, not seeing your family and stuff in order to get to that end goal. Right. So that was something I had to say, like even like Kobe Bryant, like a role model for me. He really loved the game. Right. And like with this game, I feel like football is one of those things in life. You really gonna get out what you put in. Like you really get out what you put in.
That's facts.
Whether that be, man, you could be good all high school, all college, sneak your way first round, get to the league, be a bust. Right. Like you gonna really get out what you get in. Like they say,
can't lie to Saturdays.
I'm telling you, can't lie. You can't lie. Cause when it's time to go out there and perform, I promise you, whoever been working hard or whoever been taking this serious, if you ain't got that dog in you, gonna be exposed. Right. And that's just that. Right. That's just that.
So, going through all that, I know the end goal at Alabama every season is always to win a national championship.
Always.
It's nothing, that or nothing.
If we don't do that, man, you fail.
So, talk to me about some of the individual goals. Do you set goals for yourself individually throughout the season? Talk about your aspirations about the NFL. When I was playing, what I put in my mind was, we're gonna talk about the league. We just gonna focus, be where my feet at, take it day by day. If that's on the table for me at the end, then that's gonna be a result of just trusting my process. Talk to me about how you kind of look at that. I've also known people who stamp the logo on their wall, look at it every morning, and that's what drives them, what motivates them to get there. So talk to me about your vision on that and how you use that. Do you use it to motivate you? Do you kind of not think about it? Like what is that process for you?
I would say, as you would say, like people, they stamp the logo of the NFL, look at it every morning. I got that, but not to that sort of degree. Right. I got a little picture, like I told you, when I was number 32, when I first started playing football. I got that picture when I was on the knee smiling. And I look at it every day because I just think about how far I came and look at myself and say, I don't want to let him down. Right. I don't want to let that person down. That person that fought so hard to get here, right. I don't want to let him down. Right. And when I look at that, man, like you look at it and ultimately like it's me, but I'm looking at that as far as one day when I have a son. Right. As they would say, one day your son gonna be going through something and they gonna look at you and say, Dad, man, you know, how do I get through this? And if you quit, how you gonna tell him? Right. Man, you know, son, man, you just gotta keep pushing. Come to find out, well, Daddy, you quit. Like, come on. Right. I don't wanna have that. I don't wanna have that. So with that being said, individual goals, it used to be, you know, Jim Thorpe, first team All-American, first team All-Conference, all those different accolades and individual goals, but I changed them. And I would say that kind of came from Texas too. Looking in the mirror and realizing, man, it's bigger than me. It's about buying into the team. And those people who have that have the most success. Because like Coach Saban said, the team success gonna rise, individual success anytime.
Exactly.
Anytime. Perfect example, LSU, I think when they had won the national championship, had 13 people drafted. So, I mean, those different things. And I would say I changed those goals to being a better teammate. And not just being a better teammate as far as, hey man, you cheating on this rep, go back and get this rep again. Nah, being that person, hey man, how your family doing? Who your brother? Who your mom? How you grew up?
Right.
Building those lifelong relationships and connections, because even though we teammates and we're with each other a lot, you still don't know as much as you should know.
Exactly.
Like I'm supposed
to always learn more.
Exactly. I'm supposed to go out here and like how you told us that speech of John Paul. You know that man, that famous speech you gave before we went out there and got whooped. Like how you supposed to go out here and play for your brother when you don't even know his last name?
Right.
You don't even know his mama name. You don't even know why he playing the game. So I've been challenging myself, even with the walk-ons.
Yeah.
Hey man, what you going through today? How you feel?
Right.
How your mental doing?
Right.
And as far as mental health and all that, like I realized it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
Like people will be like, man, you know, I'm straight. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna get through it.
Yeah.
Nah, like you ask me how I'm feeling today, it's hot. I'm tired.
Right.
But I'm gonna still go out here and be a pro and not let that determine how I'm gonna practice or play. And I would feel like that's something that's really helped me change my game as far as not letting outside circumstances dictate my performance.
I got you.
And like everybody always say, man, you need discipline and consistency. You need consistency, but you also need persistency.
Right.
Like persistency is having the consistency to still do it when the stimulations it's changed. So perfect example, I can still go out and have a good practice when the weather's 70 degrees. How can you go out here and practice when it's 103 degrees, your body aching, it's day 13 of fall camp, your team needs you to make a play?
Can you be the same guy?
Can you be the same guy?
Yeah.
And you know, it's hard to be that. It's hard to be that, but I would say that's the type of pressure I put on myself, and I really put on the pressure on myself as far as just even like letting my teammates know that I got faith, like faith in Christ. Like obviously, a lot of people they have faith in Christ, but they don't live by it. And you know, I'm trying to do a better job of living by it and just speaking about it, because obviously you don't expect people to speak up about that.
Right.
You don't. Like people will be like, man, you know, I go to church, I believe in Jesus, but what you doing? How you living? And I would say I'm one of the people you could call out how I'm living. I might not be living right, but I'm trying to be better every day. And I'm not trying to make the same mistakes that I made last year. And like you said, as far as the individual goes, going out there and trying to get 1% better every day and making that little person proud. Right, like they say, the best thing that you could give your family is a good last name.
That's good.
That's powerful.
That's
like
good.
The best thing I can give y'all is a good last name. Like man, when you come, some could happen to me today. Man, one thing about it, man, you know, Terrion, he was a blessing to have. Cause like my uncle, my granddad always said, when you away, people gonna talk about you regardless. They either gonna say good or they gonna say bad.
One
of the two. Like
it's,
somebody could walk in here right now, I can say, dang, Derek, they talk too much, bro. They be capping. I don't want them to come over here. Like that's how it's gonna be. They gonna talk about you regardless.
Right.
And with that being said, when we had somebody come and talk to us, we had a guy named Shep come and talk to us, motivational speaker.
Okay.
He said, this might sound crazy, but if you were to leave this earth right now, how would you leave? He said, I want y'all to write y'all obituary right now. What would people say about you right now? And when I did that, man, you know, that was powerful.
Right.
Because I feel like, man, you know, days on this earth, you know, it's limited. Like the Bible talk about, man, you know, just your life being like a candle. Like it's limited and it's short. So we only have a short amount of time to go out here and try to leave the best legacy that we could leave.
That's big.
And that's what motivated me.
That's big. That's big. Talk a little bit about, so you just talked a little bit about your goals. You say you want to win the Thorpe Award. I just noticed just by sitting down having this conversation with you, this is not the same guy that I coached as a junior in high school. Like, so when I first met you, the first thing that stuck out obviously was the talent. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this kid, he got it all. Like he got the 1-2, the drive, the motor, it's there. But another thing that stuck out to me was like you was just young, playful, jokester, trying to have a good time. Yeah, immature. Immature. And fast forward to now, where you kind of got like a business-like demeanor. I'm watching some of your interviews and how you carry yourself, and you seem like you a little bit more business-oriented. Yeah. And you also seem like you're growing into a role as more of a leader. You're comfortable with being a leader now.
Yeah.
Back in high school, I couldn't really say that about you.
Nah,
I knew
you could.
Terrion was gonna do what Terrion had to do, and he was gonna make plays. But as far as being local and like bringing guys along with you, that wasn't really your strong suit.
Yeah.
At that point. But now I see you like you often seen at the front of the line, walking out with Coach Saban, leading the team out, and you making the plays, and guys like kind of gravitate towards you. And they kind of like you kind of from the outside looking in, it's kind of saying like you're one of the leaders on the team. So talk to me a little bit about that growth in you. Where did it stem from? Does it come from the culture at Alabama, being under Coach Saban? Does it come from what you've learned from other coaches, your teammates, different life experiences? Just what has that process been for that maturity in yourself, and just where do you think it came from?
I would say I always had it in me, like you already know that.
Right.
And I've always said I wanted to be a leader or just go out there and be an example for my teammates to lead. But last year when we got Clinton Dix, very fortunate to have him when he came back to the program. A great dude. But just him being that person up there for me, how you were at John Paul. That person like, man, you didn't have a good practice today.
Right.
And I was young then, so you used to always tell me like, I'm trying to figure out how I could tell you this because I really want to tell you this, but I can't tell you how I want to tell you. Right. Like you couldn't kill my confidence, but keep it real. So you used to struggle with that. Straight up. Like, man, I'm a grown man. This is what I want to do. You say you love the game 3, but you ain't showing it today. So with that being said, having that person right there, and then ultimately just looking at it like, man, your time running out. Right. Like your time is really running out. Like we just had really, really close talks before I went out there and performed, and I was 16. Now I'm 20, get ready to be 21. Like that time really, really running out. And even coming back to Tallahassee, like FAMU homecoming and stuff, it showed me, because it's the same people that I was around, but we on different paths now.
Right, and that's you come home now and it's like, this person not that
I can't be around anymore. You. Like, and it ain't.
But you're not that same person anymore. And sometimes people struggle with accepting that.
Yeah.
And so, I know exactly what you're going through. It's kind of like a weird transition. It's a weird time.
Yeah. And at first, I'm gonna be real. At first, it was hard.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, man, you my day one.
Right.
You my brother.
Right.
But I can't put myself in a predicament to be around you.
Right.
And I mean, people will call you fake, they'll call you flawed, say what you want to say, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to be great, trying to provide for my family. And if you get in the way of it, you gotta move.
That's huge.
You gotta move, you gotta cut that tie. Because I gotta look at it like, my mom, she already feel like this too. She said, Terrion, you got a heart of gold. Right. And I'm one of them people, I believe in people, I trust people, but I ain't no fool.
Right.
I ain't no dummy.
Right.
Like, man, I can feel it when this person ain't being genuine. Yeah. This person want to be.
You feel the energy.
And it's kind of crazy because nowadays I see what it's like when they say when you start having success, family members come out the woodwork.
Right.
Man, uncles I ain't never met.
Right.
Man, you ain't my uncle.
Right. Who are you?
Who are you? Like, and that's real. And that's real. And even as friends, like that go. Like coming to town, FAMU homecoming. I got people that I wanted to be around when I was in high school who was kind of running the city then, but now you look at the roles reversed, they still doing the same thing. Right. AT, when you come back in town, we got to get up. For what?
Right.
What we doing?
Right. Like,
and you done been here the whole time. What are we celebrating? Like, what are we going out for? Like, you got to look at it for that. Right. And even coming back, like, still working out. Still woke up early this morning to go and get it, grind, because this a bye week for me. But at the end of the day, we play LSU next week. Real big game. Right. Can't take no days off.
And it's great that you touched on that, because before we get into the next question about NIL, but this being your bye week, talk about the importance of, because a bye week can be a trap.
It's a trap.
Talk about the importance of staying locked in throughout a bye week and still working on your craft, because that's really an opportunity for you to work on
stuff. Yeah.
Work on stuff, get guys back healthy, get yourself back healthy, take a mental break, and kind of retool for the next part of the season. Yeah. So talk about how this week has been, the approach you've taken, the approach the team's taken, because that bye week can hurt you.
Yeah, like Coach Saban, man, he's mastermind, and he already know. Like, we just got to practice, yesterday. He moved meetings up to 1 o'clock. We normally start meetings at 2 o'clock. Right. Practice for 2 hours. So we got to practice yesterday at 4:30.
Okay. We
had a fall camp practice the whole week.
Okay.
I'm talking about we out there hitting.
Right.
I'm talking about hitting, thudding up, game reps, good on good. Because normally, in a regular season practice, you're going against the scouts more. Nah, this week it was good on good versus the offense. Okay. My boy, the other number 3, Jermaine Burton. Literally said on Wednesday, me and Jermaine were going at it in practice. I'm talking about he'd catch a ball, I win a rep. He'd catch a ball, like we going at it.
Right.
Like we almost going at it to, like it was one rep, he got up in my face, and in my head I'm like, all right. But it's just one of them things like,
we gotta compete.
And that's my brother.
We gotta get to it.
And like after that, after every rep, like, cause he got this little thing where he'll line up and he'll just look at you like this. But I got that same thing. So I'm just he looking at me like this, I'm like this. Like just smiling, and I'm putting myself, how am I gonna line up versus LSU? How am I gonna line up versus Kentucky? When I'm in the game, that mental rep. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is bye week, but I'm getting game reps.
Right.
And with that being said, we got better. Right. Like we got better. I can genuinely say, like, I'm looking at you, Darius. I feel comfortable being in Tallahassee because that whole week I worked my behind off. Like I got better. I got better.
Yeah.
Like if we was to go play a game right now, a ride.
Right.
Tune up.
You ready?
I'm better.
Yeah,
like I'm better.
That's
I'm
how
better.
You're supposed to feel though.
And
that's how you're supposed to feel.
And with that being said, the bye week, it's a trap. Like it really is a trap. Because I mean you got FAMU homecoming going on. We in a place. Beautiful black women.
Right.
I mean, hey, my boy over there to my Lord. Like, for real, it's a trap. It's a trap.
You gotta be careful, man.
I'm telling you, and with that being said, like, they say most people, they'll go home and they'll get caught up. I'm not one of them people because I feel like I move strategic. And I ain't trying to be something I'm not. Like most people, when they come back, okay, I'm balling at Bama. Let me be on the scene, man. Let me show it. Like, hey, I got it. Nah, I ain't trying to be that, man. I don't want to be that. Because like they say, when everybody got access to you, then it make it less valuable.
Exactly.
Same thing. Like I gotta keep. I don't know why I keep going back to it, but same thing with a woman.
Right.
Who wants something that everybody can have? I don't want you.
Right.
I mean, my heart, the way my body feeling right now, yeah, I might want you, but I don't really want you. Like, who wants something that everybody can have?
That everybody can attain.
Exactly. So like with the bye week, as far as being ducked off, working in the gym, and just using that to watch film and grow, and I even using it to finish my schoolwork so I can focus on ball.
Right.
Because I mean, I ain't like we already talked about, and my people told me, like you said, one of the best things you could have did was when you graduated, and you ain't graduate with no terrible masters. Like, man, don't go in there and get no little Rudy Pooty degree as far as you just in there to play football. Don't go do nothing like that. Like I'm in business, finance, and business marketing.
That's great.
And really just taking advantage of my opportunity. And like my people said, if you look back at it, like at Alabama, 60 years ago, we couldn't even go to that school.
Right.
So like you got to think about all that stuff that factor into it, and don't let it surpass you. Like people died so we could read, so we could write.
And you got to go in there and hold it to a high standard.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and it's crazy that you keep going back to how you move strategically now, and how you kind of got to watch how you move, who you associate yourself with.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, I'm talking to some of the players I represent. Talk to me about the importance of, now with NIL, you a business. So you have to move accordingly.
Yeah.
So if you're not being marketable and you're not branding yourself accordingly where businesses want to work with you, you're going to miss out on opportunities.
Yeah.
And once you get those opportunities, you not only represent yourself, but you also represent the company and the brand that you're partnering with.
Yeah.
So you got to always have that in the back of your mind. Just like when they tell you, when you go out in public, here or in Tuscaloosa, you're always representing something. You always represent Alabama, whether you got the gear on or not.
Hey, on my chair.
You feel me? All right, so let's just talk a little bit about the NIL realm. Talk to me about, how NIL has impacted you, how you're benefiting from it, some of the sponsorships you've gotten, who you've partnered with, and that process for you. And do you see any type of negative side to it? I know you're probably gonna say no, but just talk how that's been, especially being at Alabama in that market. And I know you got tons of people reaching out to you. So how has it been to navigate that world?
I would say at first, it's one of them things like my granddad just told me don't get too greedy, because obviously you have opportunity where money can fluctuate in. You can take a little small deal, make this little pocket change, make this pocket change. Right. But at the end of the day, it's not about the money.
Right.
Sometimes it can just be as far as like the relationship of creating that, and everything is about a relationship.
Exactly.
So I would say as far as getting that relationship structure or trying to build that, it can lead to bigger opportunities.
Right.
So obviously if I go out here and do a deal with Coca-Cola, right now let's do something, market their products, they pay me a little cash. Who's to say if I do a good job on this deal, when I get to the league or get to the next level, it'll be a bigger deal.
Exactly. And
everything has a brand. So I would say, I mean, NIL, it's been a blessing. Cause I would say even me and my teammate Jay Mill, we started a thing called Link. Right. Let all naysayers know. Right. We getting a chance to really push that, and now seeing the benefits of that. And obviously, like, you keep balling, you know, you keep preaching it, keep screaming it. Man, soon you have everybody. Like, it was crazy today. I'm in Tallahassee. I'm in the mall. I see people with Lank gear on.
Right.
Lank. Like,
that's
I'm like,
crazy.
yo, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I would say NIL, it's really just about the person and realizing that you're a business. So even I was talking to my people about my hair. Like, I might have to go back to that little boy like you. Right. Just everything is an image thing.
Exactly.
And I mean, even looking at me, like, I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with having tats. Right. Like LeBron James, tatted up. Right. Great deals. I mean, you know, he's doing great in the commercial aspect, but I was just saying as far as not having no tats. Right. Just being clean cut, humble, great looking guy, and just being somebody that you want to be around. Because obviously when they look at it, they're going to do a background check.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
People not understanding that. So I would say that's something that I really understand and really been able to use it and start milking the game.
Right. And it's crazy. Like, you hit everything, because that's what I've just started doing with my company, Innovative Sports. I act as an NIL liaison between college athletes and businesses. So I'm having these same conversations with the 15 guys I represent right now. Just look, if you want to get deals, you got to be marketable. Yeah. And it's a fine line between, I don't ever want to tell somebody to not be themselves. Yeah. Because you want a business to want to partner with you and who you are as a person. But you also have to be marketable. Yeah. Like, you can't be out here putting foolishness on social media. You can, because I can't sell foolishness.
You can't sell that, man.
So
and you gotta think about who running them corporate jobs and who in them meetings.
Because I'm sitting down with them, I'm sitting down with the business owners, talking to them, and I'm showing them your Instagram. Yeah. I'm showing them your pages.
And they gonna look at you like, man, I get that you say he a great guy, but what about this post right here?
Exactly.
What you gonna do about that?
Right. And then so what I do with them is, once we get a deal, I help them market it. So that way we putting out professional photos, we're doing this, professional commercials for social media. So now other businesses see that, hey, that looks really nice. We want to partner with this athlete as well. So it's important, and I think it's good that you know and said what you said, because it makes sense. It makes sense why you're getting some of these partnerships and some of these deals, because you get it. Yeah. You always got to be marketable. You're a business now.
And I give credit to my granddad and my uncle for that, and my mom too. Like, just really allowing me to see that you got to grow up faster than you want to. Right. Like, ultimately, man, you know, this is the one time in your life where you kind of have everybody centered and focused on you, and you could capture it. Because, like, before you know it, man, like they always say, everybody gonna remember that one day you take them pads off. Right. You remember the last day you took them off. Like my uncle said, man, you gonna remember that, and you gonna remember, you know, obviously a pivotal moment or something in your career, but you gonna remember when you take them pads off. So really just trying to use that to grow into something else. And I feel like I'm one of them people too. Like I already told you, I got stuff that's way bigger than football. Right. I want to act, rap. Man, you know, Denzel Washington, I feel like that's me. Right. Like, I feel like that's me. Like, I can do that.
Don't let them, you got the personality for it. Yeah. You can't never let people put you in a box. Yeah. So keep chasing everything, bro. Yeah. Chase everything. Last thing I want to get into, man, I just want to talk about how, you know, growing up and coming up here, moving to Tallahassee in middle school and high school myself, and just coming from, you know, Bradenton, Florida, Tampa area. A lot of times I moved up here, and I know I was able to see, like, it's a lot of talent up here in Tallahassee. Like, but when I was coming up, you know, we'll pop a Power 5 guy out here, pop a Power 5 guy out there, but it felt like a lot of athletes and a lot of talent was going unnoticed. That's what the narrative was around Tallahassee. Like, we didn't get respect. Yeah. And now, fast forward to today, and it seems like it's Tallahassee guys all over the place when you turn on college football on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, you got yourself, you got me, you got Trevor at Kansas, Amari at Georgia Tech. Right. You got Raylan at Georgia.
Exactly.
You got a lot. Like, you really do.
Anthony Robinson, Missouri, playing basketball.
Trey Donaldson, Auburn.
Like, we
don't forget
everywhere
Jalen
now.
Martin in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. We're everywhere now. So, what do you think with what you're doing? How do you think that's helping to continue to put Tallahassee on the map? And what you, Amari, some of these other guys are out here doing. How are y'all putting Tallahassee on your map? And what do you think kind of changed that to make schools want to come here and offer our athletes like these big time programs? It's like we're not an afterthought anymore.
Yeah, I mean, with me and me choosing Alabama, I always, had to give credit to Ronnie.
Okay.
I feel like Ronnie Harrison, when Alabama came out there and watched me, Coach Sal Sincere, he came out there and he was at practice filming it. Same person that came out there and saw Ronnie. And, Ronnie was committed to North Carolina to play quarterback.
Correct.
Switch, ended up playing safety. Ronnie in the league balling right now.
Correct.
So I would say, as far as us flipping that switch, and then the exposure, as they would say, the cycle repeats itself. Like, we done had studs like Ernie Sims, I think Ernie the only one, like 1 in 10 people that ever have a perfect composite rating on 247.
Right.
So you got Antonio Camardi,
right.
Guys like that. No, forget about him. William Gate.
Right.
Played all them years in the league,
right.
but
we had a couple guys come out.
Yeah, but I would say
on
now,
this scale at the same time,
now,
like it's different.
And I say you got to even factor that in, like Travis Norton.
Right.
Like, man, seeing kids, developing kids,
Correct.
and showing what they got. So as far as even me being allowed to go to Alabama, when I had a lot of eyes on me, you got my homeboy, Makari Vickers, who was in the 10th grade, we on the same team together.
Right.
They coming to see me, but when they coming to see me, you see this flash. And I would say just going to these schools and stuff, people have been coming to take interest in seeing other people and finding other talent. Right. And I would say Tallahassee has really, really grown from that. And I mean, it's a blessing when you're able to look on there and like guys just keep coming to my head. Like, man,
everywhere.
We playing Childs, Garrett Green, starting quarterback West Virginia.
Right.
Like, you got Chase Gillespie, Deshaun Rucker, Tennessee, Chase at Vanderbilt. Like, we got guys everywhere. And obviously, like you will see, soon is gonna be them guys in the NFL too.
Right.
And I would say that's why my biggest thing, like I keep telling you, and like my people, and I've been having a lot of people reach out to my family saying, Terry, I need to have a camp this year.
Right.
And that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Just showing the kids, like, hey man, you could really go far with this.
Right.
And you don't want to be, and I gotta, like, this kind of break my heart. My homeboy, Sean Amari. Mm-hmm. Sean Amari going Division I, made a bad decision, got in the car. Now you locked up. Wow. Like, if you could get the people, and like when him and I talk on the phone, he always say, hey man, T, if there's one thing I can say, man, try to get to that little kid or that little voice that's getting ready to go do that dumb decision. Right. Now when we had that guy Shep come to us, he talked about us and said he was getting ready to commit suicide.
Wow.
Until Sean Alexander changed his life. He said, with 3 words, he told him he loved him. Wow. He said, like, that went a long way because he never had nobody tell him that before. Wow. And just trying to be that for that kid because, I mean, like, man, Tallahassee rough.
Yeah, but you never know what somebody going through.
You never know what nobody going through. And that's one thing I pride myself on as far as treating people how you want to be treated. You never know, just telling somebody, hey, man, you look nice today, or holding the door for somebody, have a great day today. Coming from somebody like us or coming from somebody, that could be all the difference in the world.
Right.
Man, I do look nice.
Right.
Like, it could stop somebody from committing suicide, stop somebody from doing something dumb, and
Like, because I've been in that situation before.
Yeah.
Where a complete stranger has come up and said something to me.
Man.
That altered my whole attitude, my whole day. So,
man, like, even with me,
that's real.
To get them texts, hey, just checking on you. How you doing?
Right.
Man, you just checking on me, you don't want nothing from me?
Right.
Like, that mean a lot.
Yeah,
like, man, people don't understand, man. Even, they say they want this or want that, or even guys who they think are doing well, man, those texts mean a lot because ultimately you don't really have that support system like that.
Right.
And I thank God for allowing me to have a family and bless me with stuff like that.
That's huge.
But man, up there, guys, when you up there going through it, just know, like, dang, man, he really going through it. And 9 times out of 10, he going through it alone. Because you feel like you ain't got nobody. Right. I can't come and talk to you like that. You don't know what I'm going through.
Right.
Who's to say I come and talk to you, next thing you know, now my business linked
in the streets.
Yeah. Man, Terrion going through up there, Alabama. Like, come on, man. So I would just say that right there. Like, that factors a lot into it.
That's important, man. Last thing I just want to leave you with, man, just appreciate you for stopping by, coming chopping it up with me.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
It's always love, it's family. But yeah, man, just continue. You got your head on the right path, man. Just continue doing what you're doing, man. Keep that smile about you, man. Keep that personality.
That.
And your faith too, man. Continue your walk with God, man. Keep God in your life.
Yes, sir.
Because we all need him, man. We all need him present.
Yeah.
So I just continue to keep getting into that, keep pushing in your faith, because that's gonna take you a long way.
Yeah.
And last thing I know, every guy I've played with that's in the NFL now or in the XFL still balling, what's your process? Your process should be the same every single day. All right, my roommate Kelvin McKnight, he plays in the XFL now. Literally every day was the same for him. He's in the training facility 2 hours before meeting, stretching. Every day the same. In the off season, he's getting work at the same time every day. Like James Bradbury, he was the same way.
Yeah.
He had a system. He had a schedule about him. Every guy I played with that was like that are still playing today.
Yeah.
So I challenge you. I just want to leave you with that, man. Get a process, get a system about you, and attack it every day.
Gotcha.
Attack it every day, because that's what's going to put you over the top.
Yeah.
You sit down with these NFL teams, that's going to be the first thing they ask you.
Yeah.
What's your process?
Yeah.
How you go about doing what you do every day?
Gotcha.
So just take that with you, man.
You know, I appreciate you, man.
Love.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank y'all for tuning in for the first episode of the Main Thing web series produced by Innovative Sports. It's been a pleasure having you out, Terrion.
Yes, sir.
And as always, keep the main thing the main thing.